Imagine real quick that you and I are great friends, and just as an experiment, we decide to blindfold the other. So I blindfold you, and I take you out to the middle of the sand dunes, just in the middle of nowhere. You have no idea where we're going, and I take you to the middle of the sand dunes, and I take off your blindfold. You look around, and all around you, all you can see is sand. That's it. You can't see anything else other than just sand and dunes for miles and miles and miles. And I tell you, find your way home. What direction would you decide to go? You probably would have no freaking clue because you have no idea where you are and you have no idea what direction where you're looking to go is. So to be honest, that first step is terrifying because there's a million different directions you can go and you have literally zero clue which step to take and in which direction to go. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about, is how to actually figure out what it is you want and where you're looking to go, and also why that is so important and why that's probably the thing that's been holding you back from being able to make the progress that you've been looking for. Because hey, if you're watching this video, most likely you're super ambitious, you have massive goals, massive dreams, and you don't want to live a normal life like everybody else, and you want to live that life of freedom and honestly the life that you probably see a lot of these Instagram influencers and people living and everything. But maybe you've even been working at it for quite a while, maybe even a few years, but you just have not made the progress that you've wanted, and you just see people flying past you left and right, who most of which either don't seem like they're working nearly as hard or just are flat out dumber than you believe you are. And believe me, I know how irritating and annoying that is because I've definitely been in that exact situation. All right, now before I dive into it and go any further, who the hell am I and why should you listen to a word that I have to say? If you don't know me, I'm Logan Lesser. I've won over 15 state motocross championships and an amateur national championship. I'm an extreme sports athlete, and over the past 6 years, I fielded over 7 different businesses, built a marketing agency to $30K a month, and spent over $30,000 learning from the best in business, personal branding, fitness, and mindset. I've lived and worked from London, Bali, and Cape Town. Now I'm sharing everything I've learned and continue to learn here on YouTube and even deeper inside my free newsletter. If you want to join, link is in the description below. Honestly, one of the most important things for me was figuring out my vision and exactly where I wanted to go. Because back when I started my first business when I was 15, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I mean, at the time, I was literally so set on going to school and becoming an engineer. That's literally what I had always planned to do. I always was like very focused in school. Like I was the type of kid who I just had to get straight A's. Like I had to get A's, and if I got a B, like it hurt me mentally. Like I don't know. I just had to, I think it's my perfectionism or something. But that's how I was in school. And then my plan was to go to either MIT or Colorado School of Mines and become either an aerospace or robotics engineer, like work at Lockheed Martin or DJI or SpaceX or something like that. That was my plan. And then literally I came across a YouTube video of Alex Becker, literally while I was just sitting on my bed watching YouTube. And it was actually an ad. And in the ad, he started talking about drop shipping. And I had been like looking into making money online for a while, just kind of here and there. And then what he explained in the video, it just made sense. Like the business model just made sense to me. So then I looked into it further, and then bada bang, bada boom. That's literally what got me into the space. Now, dropshipping is where I started. I made zero money with it. I lost a shitload of money doing it, literally over like $20,000 over the course of like a year, and tried like 10 different dropshipping stores and joined different mentorships and all types of different things. But I'm grateful for it because that's what got me into the space of business. And yeah, so literally when I first started though, my point is that I didn't know where I was headed or what I wanted to do. All I saw was the money and the opportunity of like, oh wow, this is a way that I can make money online working for myself and building my own business. That's cool, and maybe I don't need to go to college if I figure this out. Like the only things that I had in my mind at the time was I don't want to go to college once I, kind of decided I didn't want to be an engineer anymore and I wanted to build a business, which honestly that flip happened way faster than it probably should have. But anyway, basically I was like, I don't want to go to college. And then the other thing was I was going to be getting my license soon. And at the time, the truck that I really wanted was a Toyota Tacoma. And I've raced motocross my whole life and I go ride dirt bikes and stuff. So I needed a truck to be able to put my bike in the back, which is why I wasn't like, I'm gonna get a sick sports car or something. But no, I wanted a Toyota Tacoma and I didn't want to go to college. Those were the two things on my mind. That was it. But in terms of vision and stuff, Not a clue. I didn't even know what the word vision meant other than being able to actually see with your own freaking eyes. So that's all I really did. And at the time, and honestly, for the first few years, it was like that, where all I was focused on was how can I make money right now so that I can get literally this short-term thing that I want. But I wasn't looking at all at like the long-term goals and the life I wanted to live and how I wanted to actually spend my days and everything, and just like thinking long-term in general. And that just led me to chasing thing after thing, having major shiny object syndrome, and literally just failing over and over, bouncing around from different business models and starting different dropshipping stores and getting different mentorships, buying different courses, all those types of things. Like I've literally spent over $30,000 of my own money over the past 7 years, literally just on mentorships, courses, and even like in-person masterminds and stuff like that. So I've just been chasing thing after thing after thing. And I did that for the first few years. And honestly, I think a massive, massive part of it and reason was because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted. I didn't know where I was headed, what I actually wanted, the life I wanted to live, and everything like that. Now, one thing that I will say is I do think you kind of have to go through a stage of that, because it's not like you're immediately just gonna know everything that you want perfectly to a T without trying a lot of different things. Because by trying so many different things, I figured out what I liked and what I didn't like, which obviously helped create the vision that I have now, which I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't try so many different things. But now in comparison, I literally have a 23, I think maybe even 24 page manifesto or vision board on steroids that literally has the exact vision and future that I want to live. And it is in ridiculous detail, where there's pages and pages of literally just writing, where I write out this is exactly, like literally I write it out in a way of kind of manifestation, where I'm writing it from the perspective of already living that life. It's like, I am, I'm running this business that's making this amount. I live here. I'm traveling to these places throughout the year. I'm in a relationship with this jaw-dropping gorgeous woman, like blah, blah, blah. So I'm writing it as if I already have it in this manifesto. But it is so detailed that literally when I read it, I can literally visualize it in my head and imagine every single thing so visually that it almost hurts in my mind to be able to see it. Because my current reality, there's obviously that massive gap between where I am now and where I see myself being in the future and how I have it written out in there. But in that manifesto, I've got tons of pages of literally photos of the things I want and everything like that. Like, to give you a little bit of a preview, I guess, or just an idea, is literally in the future what I see myself wanting is I want financial, time, and location freedom. Now, when you ask somebody, if you go up to anybody, even the most ambitious people, maybe even yourself, and you ask, what is it that you want in the future? 99% of people will literally pause and they won't know immediately. They won't have an answer. And then when they do answer, it's gonna be very vague. And even what I just said, financial, time, and location freedom, that's a very vague answer, because if you were to say that to me, I'd immediately ask, okay, but what does that mean? And for me, after thinking about it and figuring out the life that I want and everything, what it specifically means is that financial freedom means $100,000 a month. That's how much money I want to make at a bare minimum in the future to be able to live the life that I want to live. Time freedom means that I can literally just disappear for a month and not touch any of my work or anything that I'm doing, and I already have the systems and backend and team and everything in place, where not only will it have actually maintained and my business will have just continued doing what it's doing, but it will have actually grown in that 30-day period without me. That's what the time freedom means. And then the location freedom means that if I wanted to, I could literally book a ticket to Switzerland or Cape Town or Bali or anywhere that I want to go tomorrow and go live there for the next 3 months if I wanted to. That's what those things mean very specifically. Now, that's a very specific vision. And when I have that specific vision, there's only specific or certain things or ways or businesses or paths that can actually realistically lead to all of that as a combination. Because, for example, working a day job like in person would make that impossible, because I obviously would not be able to just travel to a different country tomorrow. I definitely wouldn't be able to just take the next 30 days off of my work and have my business and and income grow in that period. And then obviously a normal day job is not going to be making me $100,000 a month. So literally I have to, once I knew that vision, then it was like, okay, what business models, paths, and routes can actually realistically lead to this vision and this combination of things? And then that's what's led me to obviously working on the things that I'm doing now. And it gives me that confidence and certainty that like I am doing the right thing, I'm on the right path, and it eliminates the shiny object syndrome, because I'm like, there's only certain stuff that can get me to the exact specific destination that I want to go. If you want to think about it in a different way, then it's literally like a lot of people, the way that their vision or goals are, like if you ask them like, what is it that you want in the future? Then most likely their answer is going to be like, oh, well, you know, I want financial freedom and wealth and to be able to travel to cool places and blah, blah, blah. Like very vague. That's basically like saying, I want to go on a trip outside of the US. Like, okay, well, where the hell do you want to go? Because there's a gazillion different fucking places that you can go, and you're gonna have to book a plane ticket to a specific location. Like, where is it you want to go? Whereas my version of like my vision and what I've got in my manifesto, and even what I just told you, is where I'm saying I'm gonna go on a trip to Cape Town, South Africa. I'm gonna stay in Camps Bay at this specific Airbnb for this period of time. Like that's very ultra specific, you know, like I know exactly where I'm going. And once I know the destination, then I can figure out the path to actually get there. So that's where it goes back to my story or analogy or whatever you want to call it at the very beginning of the video, where I said, if I just dropped you in the middle of the sand dunes and told you find your way home, you would have zero clue what the first step is you should take, because you have no idea A, where you are, and B, you have no idea where your target destination is compared to where you are. So to create the path is literally impossible. Like in order to figure out how to actually get where you want to go, first of all, you need to know where you want to go. And second, you need to get clear on where you are now, in like dropping the ego and all those sorts of things, where you're just completely like just honest and real about, this is where I'm currently at now. This is the opportunities and the skills and the things that I have at my disposal right now, or the cards that I've been dealt in my life, and what I can actually do right now and the steps that I can take. And then this is where I want to get to. And then that's where you can actually figure out the path. So anyway, I'll probably leave you with that, but that's just how important the vision and everything really is. And specifically, if you want to map this out right now, which I highly recommend after this video, just take out a pen and paper and just start writing stuff down, and literally just write down the question, what is it that I want in the future? Like in 5-10 years, what specifically do I want? And to really get ultra specific, just use the trick of asking why every time you write an answer down. And then when you do that, it'll help you get more specific. Because for example, when I have the answer of I want financial time and location freedom, well, if you ask me like, okay, well, why do you want time freedom? Then that is going to allow me to answer that specifically. And then that's gonna just get deeper and deeper and deeper, so that you find that real core root reason and like the overall vision behind that. Hopefully that makes sense. But instead of having it like super vague and everything. So just keep asking why, and also keep asking the question of, okay, what does that mean specifically? So like going back to the financial time and location freedom, if you were to give me that answer, I'd be like, okay, but what does that mean specifically? Like when you say financial freedom, what does that mean specifically? How much is that to you? And then that'll help you get deeper and deeper and deeper, and map that out. And then just honestly, you know, put together a manifesto or a vision or something that where you get ultra specific about what it is you want in the future. And by the way, I update my manifesto a lot. Like I update it at least once a year, and sometimes even throughout the year, because simply my interests change and the things that I want change, and the thing that I'm working on and what I've found and opportunities that I've come across have changed. So I will literally go in and update my manifesto and create a new version of it. So this first version doesn't need to be perfect, and just keep in mind, you can change it. Like it's not like you're just setting this and then boom, that's your path forever. Like you can definitely change it. But the important thing is having it now, so that you know what those next steps are, and that you can have the certainty and confidence that you are taking the right next steps. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. I think I'm gonna make more of these like just kind of ranting videos a little bit, because you know, I enjoy them. I think they're easier to just put together and for me to put out more videos. And I also think they're somewhat helpful, hopefully, at least from what I've heard from people. But anyway, comment below if you got any questions or anything like that, and I'll do my best to get back to you. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace.